a child does the right thing. Here's a student basically talking about coming the next day and killing people. Student reports it to the mom. The mom contacts the principal. Principal says, nothing to see here. And by the way, your child will no longer be allowed to come to this school. Injustice, I tell you, put up a picture of the school. We're gonna do this right. 13-year-old 8th grader who currently attends Lakeview Middle School in Lewisville, Texas, was suspended after she overheard a classmate telling another student, don't come to school tomorrow, and became concerned about a possible school shooting threat. She did not think much of it at first, but by the end of the school day, she couldn't shake those words. Her childhood had been punctuated by prior shootings like Newton, Parkland, Uvalde. She decided to tell her friends and what she thought it could mean. This is genuinely scaring the ish out of me. She messaged half a dozen friends in her group, 4:42 p.m. 1 minute later, let's see if I can tell my mom without crying, okay? This was impacting the young lady. Lisa Youngblood was on a Zoom. When her daughter got home on that late January day, the girl texted her that she really needed to tell her mom about something that happened at school. It was important. Together, they prepared to report their concern to the Lakeview Middle School. Before they could dial the number, Youngblood's phone rang. It was the assistant principal who had already gotten wind of the situation. She listened to the girl's story on the phone, and a school police officer started an investigation. Police quickly determined the child in question did not have access to a gun, according to a January 6th incident report. There was no threat to the campus, was the conclusion of the investigation. Relieved, Youngblood's daughter felt okay when she went to school the next morning. Then, as her first period science class discussed the periodic table, she was called to the office. The assistant principal determined the girl had made a false accusation about school safety. Her punishment would be 3 days of suspension, followed by 73 days, which was the rest of her 8th grade, at an alternative school. All right? Youngblood learned that despite Black students only making up 12% of the student population, almost 1/3 of students put into an alternative school in the last school year were Black. Of the 557 students sent to the alternative schools in Lewisville, 245 were sent because of decisions made by school administrators. Put them up. Lakeview Middle Principal, Dr. Barry Deister, Assistant Principals Charlotte Samples in the center and Anthony Dancer on the right. Buck stops with them. They are in charge. During a February 8th appeals hearing, Principal Deister questioned the teen about why she messaged her friends, to which the 13-year-old answered she wanted her friends to be safe. Deister further questioned, how did it go from don't come to school to guns? The 13-year-old replied, today, that's what you think of. Answer. Assistant Principal Samples has said the teen had several hours to report her concerns, but when she texted her friends instead, she had a great impact. Director of Student Services at Lewisville Schools, Rebecca Clark, said the district did not punish the teen for reporting a safety concern, and school administrators considered disciplinary consequences when students have spread rumors rather than following the appropriate steps to notify a trusted adult or using LISD's anonymous reporting options. This is insanity, is it not? There's more. Youngblood refused to send her daughter to the alternative school and instead had her complete as much work as possible at home while she appealed the decision. One thing I'm not going to do is send my child to the prison pipeline. Youngblood said in an interview, during that time, the 13-year-old had panic attacks, nightmares, and withdrew from her friends. At a time when schools and children are told to stay vigilant to prevent the next shooting. Lewisville Independent School District's response exposed the black 8th grader to a level of harsh discipline that research shows has a disproportionate impact on children of color and potentially devastating effects as children navigate the beginning of their lives. After a second appeal by Youngblood, the school finally walked back the punishment, but the 8th grader missed 3 weeks of school over this ordeal. The boy who made the comment was also punished and received in-school suspension, as well as time at the alternative school. Youngblood's daughter noted that if she ever heard something that could be considered a threat again at the school, she would not tell anyone. Who messed this up? Not the children. The adults did. So let's analyze what the two children did. One child said something that was ambiguous, but seemed to be possibly a threat. Child overhears it, thinks about it, talks about it among her peer group, is convinced I need to tell my mom. Too many things happening. Let me tell my mom just in case. See something, say something, is what they say. So she does. What happened? She gets a penalty harsher than the person who made the comment. And it wasn't until media got involved and community got involved that the school decided to reverse their particular conclusion. They literally interrogated a 13-year-old and posed questions like, well, why did you tell other people first? She says, because I wanted my friends to be safe. She literally completely destroyed their argument against her while they were trying to trip her up, as if somehow she just made it up. Now, was her conclusion wrong? Fine. Her conclusion can be wrong, but whose conclusion was actually harmful? Yours. Your mistake created harm. All of the adults were wrong here, evidenced by the fact they overturned their own ruling. So don't lecture me, anybody else, about the child being wrong. All right, Sharon, thoughts here.
Schools are built too often to give students of color their first lesson about American society. That's really, they needed to break this student and inform this student to take a look in the mirror and understand that justice will be what we say. And we'll change it whenever we want to.
To the young lady, you're bold, you're courageous, you did the right thing. You did the right thing. Continue your journey of truth telling. Do not allow those around your orbit to define who you are, because you give them the victory. Be you, be authentic, be bold, be fearless.